Hello, my name is Veronique Marchal, and I am inspired today on January 21st, 2021, inspired by Amanda Gorman's poem yesterday at President Biden's inauguration ceremony, which I see a lot of people from all walks of life were deeply touched by based on the social media and the news. And so I decided that I wanted to find the whole poem again and to print it out and to even just reread it again and do what I often do when I really want to connect with something I'm learning and really wanting to take in, literally, as I read it out loud. So I took out my iPhone and I started recording an audio, and I read it through once. And then I thought, I want to share this, and I actually want other people to, I suppose, do what the implicit ask was, which is please connect with these words, America. I mean, like, really connect with them, like take them in. And so I think I'm going to wear my yellow blouse, which I actually have, in honor of Amanda, and what she brought forth for us. And I've now printed it out, and this will be only my second time reading it through, but I'm starting a commitment, and I don't know where it's going to go. Never done anything like this, but yes, words matter. This is Read for Me. It's Read for Us, and I hope that this goes to a Read Us Forward commitment. I'm going to tag a couple of friends, but not everyone. And the idea is that everyone reads it, uploads a video if they want, and that this becomes something organic. So maybe a family will discuss a particular line. Maybe other people will feel moved to write an entire poem based on one word or something that they feel was perhaps not exactly the way they would have worded it, so that there's an us in words and becoming that was brought forth. So I'm already at 2 minutes 27. I don't know if anyone's going to listen, but that's the whole point. I'm just doing this because this is what matters as well, is when something moves us, moves in the terms, just like, wow, wow, what do I do with it? Okay, I'll Facebook it, I'll social media it, but to really kind of bring it forward again and have it live another day. Anyway, so I'm going to do this because I really do enjoy reading out loud. And this is going to be what it's going to be. Mr. President, Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff, Americans and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade, the loss we carry, a sea we must wade? We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. And when the dawn is ours before we knew it, somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother, can dream of becoming president only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man and woman. I know what you meant. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, and even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to look up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. This is the promise to Glade. The hill we climb, if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy, and this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith, we trust, for while we have the eyes on the future, history has its eyes upon us. This is the era of just redemption we feared in its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a horrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we ask, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain, if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the golden hills of the west. We will rise from the windswept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rinsed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, and every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Thank you, Amanda.